Hello, everybody. We are going to go over my most insulted colognes. Now, when I say colognes, they're really insulting me, but it's because I'm wearing these colognes, I tell myself. Now, these insults can come in multiple forms. They can come in the form of just complete disgust over the cologne, and they can also come in the form of different things, which I'll explain. Quick reminder, if you like these, please consider subbing, liking. Let's get into it. No more fluff. My first thing on the list, Nautica. So, I did a video about this. The best Christmas gifts. Go check it out. But the thumbnail for this was, please stop by Nautica. Gosh, I gotta tell you. So, I'm gonna be picking some colognes that are well known. This video would be absolutely useless if you didn't know these colognes. If I was ranking Cousin Leroy's Sandalwood cologne, which he makes right next to the Moonshine, that wouldn't help anybody because nobody knows about that. I'm going to be picking some colognes that people know, and people might not like my opinion on it, but Nautica is one of those that is so heavily purchased. This is the original Nautica. This is a lot of people sorry, this is a lot of people's intros into blue colognes. Why do people get Nauticas? Well, they're cheap, they're readily accessible, and they come in big bottles. Nautica, gosh, it's just, and of course Nautica Voyage, which I think is the best version of it, but also on any given month, the top seller on Amazon. So I'm kicking it off big now. My list is just going to get more and more disgusting, but people in the fragrance community, and I didn't realize this until I got into it, very opinionated, very toxic community, and people, and they call them frag heads, fragrance heads. They hate Nautica. It does nothing for them. They don't like it. I will say, I think the reason why Nautica is as successful as it is, all blue colognes, meaning spring, summer, they don't make a cologne really that has a lot of depth. I think the reason why Nautica is so successful is because women purchase it for their boyfriends, their husbands. It's a feminine cologne. It's a soapy cologne, so the man will wear it because it just kind of smells like a body wash or something like that, and it's a very woman-friendly scent. I think it's very perfumey, but I don't know. I don't know why, but I've never received any compliments on any of these that I've worn. I've never been asked, hey, what are you wearing? I got my father this, actually, and he used it to spray the dog. So that goes to show you his level of commitment, which actually I don't have it with me, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it while we're on the subject. Dracar Noir. Horrible scent. I've never received a compliment on that guy. It is every kid in high school's first masculine musky cologne. I gave my father that one time. I've given it as gifts to several people, and they don't even use it. And they'll blaze through a bottle. Even a bottle like this, they'll blaze through it. Dracar Noir. Nah. I don't know. sometimes what people like, what people don't like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you just got to go off of it. Because at the end of the day, people say, oh, I want something that I like. Yeah, but if it's going to absolutely repugnate everybody around you, why would you wear it? All right, next one. Cool Water by Davidoff. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. This is the eau de toilette version. And it might just be the batch that I got. This is supposedly a green Irish tweed cologne from Creed. I don't get that at all. Like, not even at all. The one thing, it's not a bad scent profile. The one thing that I really just do not like about Cool Water is that it just smells like moonshine. It's so alcohol-y. You wear this, you walk up to somebody, and they're gonna think you have a drinking problem. It's not good. Never received any compliment on it. As a teenager, I would drop myself in this stuff, so I did give it the old college try. All right. This next one might surprise some people. Club de Nuit Intense, a cologne of Creed Aventus. Creed Aventus, I'm going to be talking about these two like they're just the same cologne. Creed Aventus, $350, $400 a bottle. Absolutely unbelievable. People love it because they get to tote their egos and say, I spent $400 on this cologne. I smell like $12 a spray or something. I've never found a woman that says, I love Creed Aventus or Club de Nuit. I never. It's always the men. The men love Club de Nuit. They love it. It's smoky. It reminds you of a fireplace that has a burning pineapple in it. It's a horrible explanation. It's smoky. It's citrusy. It's soapy. God, it is a good cologne, but I've never received any compliments on it. And it's so strong that it is the same thing that happened to me when I used Leighton by Parfums de Marly, but there's no way I could put that in here. But the difference between 2 sprays and 3 sprays is enormous. You spray 2 sprays, it's going to be with you all day. You're going to walk into a room and people are going to smell it right away. You spray 3 and people are going to vomit. It's so powerful. I've received tons of comments on this. What in God's name are you wearing? And not in a good way. I hear horror stories from the review sections of this that the workers at the Amazon warehouse where Armoff does a lot of the sales, they all have these and they basically bathe in them every day. And you can't even walk through the warehouse without getting a massive migraine. I don't think that I have found a cologne that's like more insulted than this one as far as quantity goes. I've had so many people complain about this thing. I think it's a good fragrance, and I still think it's a really good gift to give. But holy cow, watch out on this one. Okay. Another very popular cologne. So, for those of you who are brand new to the game or don't know, there are certain fragrances that work well with different seasons. If you are in the summer, you're going to wear something like the Nauticas. I mean, I hope not, but you're going to wear something like the Nauticas, something that is fresh, aquatic, salty. If you are in fall, you're going to wear something that maybe has a little bit of tobacco, deeper notes, iris, woods. If you mix those things up, pandemonium will ensue. I made the mistake of wearing this thing. I live somewhere where there are no seasons. There is ridiculously cold and absurdly hot. I didn't realize that it was going to be absurdly hot because the day before was ridiculously cold. It was like 20 degrees. The next day it got up to like 80. And I put this guy on, and I put it on a hoodie, and I walked out. It was nauseating. It was disgusting. Nobody looked at me and said, "You disgust me," but they didn't have to. Their face said it all. If you wear something like this, and this is Cremo, Spice and Black Vanilla, which is one of the top sold fragrances on Amazon for a good reason. Incredible. It's a cardamom, vanilla, and I think tobacco. It's a great fragrance. If you wear this fragrance when it is hot outside, it literally makes you want to throw up. And I had to go right home. I was like, forget everything that I had to do, and I had to go right home. It is disgusting when you wear this, and when it mixes with your sweat, if it's really hot outside. Oh my God. Oh, enough said. Don't do it. This can go with a lot of it, but it's so sickeningly sweet. Maybe like Angel Share by Killian, or something like that would be in the same boat. But a lot of fall, winter fragrances, they tote the line, and they have some redeeming quality between fall and spring. This doesn't. Don't make the mistake, please. All right, another one. This is a niche fragrance, Brioni. I don't think I've posted a video on this, but if you want to see my review of this, make sure you drop a sub. I've never found a woman that likes this. I sprayed it one time, and the woman's exact response to me was, "Ew, no." That was it. It was just ew, and it was no. There was no elaboration. This is a niche fragrance like the Baccarats, or even some of the Creeds, the Xerjoffs. There's a lot of companies that are niche, that contain ingredients that you don't get anywhere else. And because the nose is so unfamiliar to these things, it finds it disgusting a lot of times. And this is one of those fragrances. See, I love it. Gosh, I love it. It's pungent. It's fruity. I think it has bergamot and lemon as the opening notes. But man, I have never seen I've never seen a time from the first spray to an audible ew faster than Brioni. And I've never found a woman that likes this fragrance. And again, why are we buying these fragrances? Yeah, we're buying it for us. I want to wear something that I like the smell of. But if my goal is to impress people, smell good, so people want to be around me, people like being around me, and I'm able to present myself as the full picture, you don't want to be wearing something that disgusts people. So, Brioni, I love the fragrance, but nobody else does. Okay, let's do a category of its own before I show the most disgusting cologne that I've ever seen, or smelled, or touched. Let's do a realm of its own. This is gonna shock people. It's gonna offend people. People are going to become irate. leave a comment if you've become irate with this. I know some people are. Sauvage. Dior, I think, currently the most sold fragrance, I think. And then Why Men. Now this is the brand new Eau de Parfum Intense, which I love. But why are these on here? These are on here for a very specific reason. They are so well loved, so adored, that everybody has them. Everybody has Sauvage. Everybody has Yves Saint Laurent, Why Men. Everybody. You probably have them. Why is this a bad thing? Because almost every single person, or not every single person, almost every single time I either wear Sauvage, which is not at all anymore, or Why Men, which I still wear because I really like the fragrance, somebody says, "Oh wow, I've smelled that before. That's familiar. What are you wearing?" Or they'll just straight up know it. They'll be like, "Oh, you're wearing Sauvage. You're wearing Why Men." And that's terrible. First off, you don't want to smell like everybody else, just from a standpoint. You don't want to be the same as everybody else. You want your signature scent. You want to present yourself in a way. That's why people get into the niche fragrances, so they don't smell like everybody else. They have something unique about them. But even worse than that, wouldn't you know, when you're dating and you wear one of these fragrances, and guess what? This is the same fragrance that her ex-husband, ex-boyfriend, current boyfriend. No, don't do that. If you find out there's a current boyfriend, keep shopping. If you're the mistress, right? You don't want them to also have worn Sauvage, also have worn Why Men. You don't want to be that constant reminder of that person that they once dated or married or whatever. Because I've been that. I've actually been that to somebody else, and they've told me about it after the fact. And you know what happened to them? They just dumped them. They couldn't stand it. We, as humans, we have our senses, our five senses, and our sense of smell is innately tied into our sense of memory. And if you are smelling, which for me was Acqua di Gio, the other person had Acqua di Gio, which was my signature scent once upon a time with millions of other people. If you are wearing a fragrance that takes that person back and makes them think about somebody else, you've already lost. You've already lost. And every time that I wear one of these two, people comment on it. They either know what it is, or they know that they've smelled it before, and it makes them think about that person. You don't want that, period, which is sad, because they're good colognes. All right. Last one. These ones have been nauseating. They've been nose piercing. I've received a lot of ooze and a lot of disgust, but this one takes the cake. Drum roll. I don't even want to touch it. Oh, what is it? Tuscan leather. This is actually the clone, Toscano leather, which is what I hear to be a carbon copy of Tuscan leather by Tom Ford. Why and how they're still making this is beyond me. So I used to, before I got really into cologne collecting, I used to hear people say whatever you do, don't buy a leather fragrance. Don't do it. Why? Because for some people, they are going to have such a visceral hatred and disgust of particular fragrances and a particular note. And that note is leather. You either adore it, you love it, can't get enough of it, or it physically makes you nauseous. I'm not talking about, ew, oh my god, that's so disgusting, exaggeration, teenage girl stuff, Is that offensive? I don't know. And then I'm talking about literally just a guttural sickness, like sick to my stomach, I'm going to die. This is the most disgusting thing that I've ever smelled in my life. I have to get out of here. That's what I'm talking about. Tuscan leather is that for me, make me sick, physically made me sick. And I was on a date and went to TJ Maxx, and they had it wasn't Tuscan leather, but it was another one of the Tom Ford colognes, which is a leather fragrance which also has fruit in it, so not nearly as potent, because this is just 100% like pure leather. Ombre leather is what it was called. And whenever I spray a cologne, spritz, and then I put my hand in there, and so the fragrance disperses. So I'm not just, and then, and get it in your mouth and stuff. So my hand was lightly covered in it. And it really wasn't that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. Go back to, because we were at a mall, go back to walking in the mall. And I said, man, I was wearing Born in Roma Intense, which was a gorgeous cologne. And I said, man, I don't think I like this cologne very much. And this is what this girl does. She goes, oh, I was going to say something. You smell disgusting. You smell disgusting. I was like, oh, thank you. And luckily, I was able to go in the bathroom and wash my hands and get it off. But that was a date killer. She was literally about to pack up and be like, you smell so bad, I can't even do this anymore. And I've seen more people take that kind of tone with the leather colognes and leather fragrances. And what's amazing is that this is literally $300, $400 a bottle. It's unbelievable. It's like, what's the opposite of pheromones? What's the opposite of attraction? That's what this is. To me, it makes me physically nauseous, and it repels everybody that I meet. But they wouldn't make it if other people didn't like it. So there are people out there that like it. But I would just say that I've never seen people actually run away from me. Like I just transformed into a werewolf or the He-Man or something. Then when I had this stuff on, they'd smell it and then leave. I mean, it's crazy, the kind of powers that this has. Tell you what, if you can stomach it, you have someone that's into you that you really don't like, pick yourself up a bottle of this stuff, 2 sprays, you'll never see him again. My most insulted by far cologne. Like, you just sucks. You smell horrible, and I don't want to be your friend anymore. Tuscan leather. Still in my collection. So, this was everything. I'm sure as I go along, I'll collect some more things that are very insulted. But suffice it to say, fragrances are not everybody's cup of tea. Certain ones recall certain memories and recollections, and Tuscan leather made you recall being on a farm surrounded with cow poop, and it was just Just don't do it. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. If you wouldn't mind, and you've made it this long, drop me a comment. Tell me what your most insulted cologne is. Tell me what the cologne that you wear that's the best, that people always love. Let me know something in the comments. I'm sure I upset some people, but some colognes are insulted and hated for different reasons. So thank you, everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Until next time, be